Hey guys, and welcome back to another episode of Federico Talks Watches. Now that SIHH is over, I want to do a little roundup, and I want to talk about my opinion or who I think are the winners and losers of this SIHH. Now, just to be clear, when I say winners and losers, I mean in a commercial sense. Who created and came out with products that I think are going to do well. Now, I make that distinction because there's a lot of people in this year's winners category that I personally really don't like with what they came out with. But just because I don't like it doesn't mean I don't think it's going to sell extremely well. Now, of course, customary wristwatch check. I am wearing the Panerai Luminor Marina PAM 111 today. It's an SIHH video. Gotta wear a Richemont brand because, of course, SIHH is predominantly Richemont. And of course, also before we get started, don't forget to check out Delray Watch Supply. That's delraywatch.com. Link in the description below. My website where I sell some pre-owned watches, offer watch service, and have cool things like t-shirts. I just got in a really tough Girard-Perregaux Seahawk and an IWC Mark 18. So go on over and check it out. But anyway, SIHH 2018. SIHH is, of course, one of the two main fairs that happens every year, along with Baselworld, where a bunch of watch brands release their new products. Now, last year was an SIHH completely filled with vintage reeditions, which were cool, but it got a little boring. But this year was a rather interesting one, and it's funny because I think a lot of these new watches are going to do quite well. However, I personally dislike most of them. That doesn't mean they're not going to do well commercially, so I'm going to break it down into the three winners of SIHH and the three losers, in my opinion. Now, first, I'm going to go with the winners, and the first winner is Cartier. Now, Cartier came out with the new Santos Galbé line. Now, you guys knew a few videos ago I was bitching how could Cartier discontinue it. It's their most iconic watch. Well, they came out with the new line. I have to say, I don't like the way it looks at all. I prefer the old one, and they made it in-house, and I don't like their in-house movement, so I prefer the old one entirely. So this is one of those cases of a watch I don't like, but I think it's going to do extremely well. It's got new modern looks that are not to my taste. It went in-house, which of course, the Cartier movement, whenever someone does an in-house movement, sales skyrocket, and it's got a great quick-release bracelet and strap feature. One of the first times this watch has been offered on a strap in, well, ever, actually. So I think this is going to sell like hotcakes. It's the iconic Cartier Santos Galbé, but refreshed with a new movement and new looks. Do I like it? Not at all. But it's definitely going to sell. Cartier also came out, didn't come out with, but refreshed the Cintre line. It's like a Cartier Tank Anglaise, but a little thinner, a little longer. This one is really, really cool. So a little bit of a throwback to the older models, but also refreshing an icon. I think Cartier is going to make some great sales numbers this year. These lines are definitely going to move. Now for my first loser. Now, for the first loser, I'm going to go with, and this pains to say, H. Moser. Unfortunately, H. Moser was having a great campaign before SIHH was coming out with their new homage piece, a great new commercial. Obviously, that watch, which wasn't going to be a regular release, but was going to be auctioned off, was great publicity for them, but they had to pull the plug, most likely due to legal pressures from other brands. H. Moser had a rather plain SIHH, a few new dial colors, and one new jump hour watch. But to be honest, even though that's cool, nothing too exciting. Still love the brand, just a little bit of a plain SIHH this year. Now, of course, to the second winner, Vacheron Constantin. What can we say? They came out with a new dress watch in steel at around the $12,000 mark, the cheapest Vacheron Constantin in history. It's going to do great things for them, going to snap up some new market share, get some new buyers interested in the brand, a more accessible price point, and it has a Jaeger caliber, which a lot of people are complaining about. But guys, did we forget? Patek used Jaeger calibers. Vacheron has always used Jaeger calibers. AP used Jaeger calibers. Why are you guys surprised now? It's great value. Could you get a JLC for half the price of the Vacheron? Sure you can, but it won't say Vacheron Constantin on the dial. I think this new entry point is definitely going to help them acquire some younger buyers. I think the styling is great, and nothing super exciting, but from a commercial standpoint, this VC is absolutely killer. Now for loser number 2. Another brand I love, Parmigiani. What did they do? Well, they refreshed the Kalpa line, a couple of new high-end watches. Nothing really exciting. Nothing that I think is really going to move any units. Parmigiani is already a brand that offers a ton of value, especially pre-owned, heavily discounted, but very well made, and I don't see anything they release this year really helping them out in that market. Not to say they're not great watches, they are, but no big sellers here. So Parmigiani, sorry guys, a loser number 2. And now for the last winner. And of course, had to mention it, JLC. They came out with a plethora of sports watches. New Memovoxes, new chronographs, sportier cases, bigger cases. Unfortunately, I have to be honest, I dislike every single new model they came out with this year. It's not my taste at all. They look like cheaper versions of some of the stuff Zenith used to do. Really big cases, really small movements. But it doesn't mean people aren't going to eat them up. People are going to love that new chrono, especially the one on the bracelet, a real Daytona competitor. JLC, of course, is going to be made very well. The styling does nothing for me. However, it's not all about me, it's about the market, and I honestly think these are real winners. You just get so much value for the price point. I just wish the styling wasn't so Spartan. And every time JLC comes out with a sports watch, it doesn't sell particularly well. I think this time it's not going to be the case, but I could be wrong. However, I'm more of a Reverso or Master Control guy anyway. But these new watches, in my opinion, are going to sell extremely well. And then, for the last loser, and this pains for me to say, FP Journe with their new Centigraph chronograph, the Rattrapant. Man, that thing is one of the ugliest watches I've ever seen in my entire life. What were you thinking, Mr. Journe? I mean, yeah, they already discontinued their aluminum sports line, the Octa S. I remember when I was working for dealers, they had multiple of those in stock and they couldn't give them away. You could argue that the whole aluminum thing wasn't really into the FP Journe spirit because FP Journe's more about noble metals. But no, those watches were fugly. These watches are fugglier and even more expensive. Now, I love FP Journe, some of the coolest watches out there. But dude, I wouldn't even wear it. I can't even come up with it. It's ugly. It's an ugly watch. I don't know what to say. It's ugly. And then, of course, I have to mention AP. I'm not officially putting them on the losers list, but another SIHH with nothing more but new Royal Oak releases. How many variations of the Royal Oak can you guys make? Obviously a ton. But when is that going to run out? You guys need to revive the Jules Audemars line, the Edward Piguet line, the Millenary line. All this Royal Oak stuff, just boring. I'm over it. Royal Oak Perpetual, Royal Oak Ultra Thin, Royal Oak Tourbillon, Royal Oak Ceramic, Royal Oak, Royal Oak, Royal Oak. I'm kind of over it. But guys, I mean, what do you think? You think I'm accurate? I mean, what do you think I missed? I mean, of course, my boys at Piaget, they came out with the very cool, thinnest mechanical watch in the world, the 910P. Lange came out with the triple split. You thought the double split was insane? They came out with the triple split. Urwerk still making some crazy stuff. Some very interesting things this year. Mont Blanc, another one that should have made the winners list. Some great chronos from a very underappreciated brand. Overall, I think this show, 2018, was way stronger than 2017. But these are what I think are the biggest hits and misses of this year's iteration of SIHH. Leave a comment in the comment section below. Do you think I'm right? Do you think I'm wrong? What are your biggest hits and misses? I'd love to know. Guys, let's have some conversation. Let's hear what you guys think went right and went wrong. And of course, as I said, please don't forget to check out delraywatch.com, my website. Guys, thank you so much for watching another episode of Federico Talks Watches. Please don't forget to subscribe. My next video is going to be with my master watchmaker and main man, Hansi, so don't forget to tune in for that one. And please leave a thumbs up on the video if you enjoyed it. It really does help. Thank you so much, guys, and I'll catch you in the next one. Take care.